Hello, you're welcome to Chemistry Explained series, part 10. I want to use the opportunity to thank you for your past subscriptions. You have made this channel booming, over 130 subscriptions. Thank you. Share it more to more people. Today we are looking at part 10 of Chemistry Explained series. Today we want to look at a very important topic: writing and balancing chemical equations. Today we will learn step by step how to write and balance chemical equations. But the first thing is that what is a chemical equation? A chemical equation is a way to represent a chemical reaction using symbols and formulas. The standard format is to write reactants on the left-hand side with an arrow linking you to the right-hand side, which is the product side. For example, you have hydrogen reacting with oxygen to give you water. You use symbols to represent chemical equations. Then in between the reactants, you have a plus sign, and that plus sign means and. Then the arrow giving you the products means produces or yields. So we use these things to connect the reactant side and the product side. Also in equations, we normally also put the state, like S in subscript representing solid states, L representing liquid state, G representing gaseous state, and AQ representing aqueous, that means salt that dissolved in water. So we can also write word formula equations and then the symbols. For example, we can say hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas equal to water. Or we can put it in a formula form like hydrogen H2 plus oxygen O2 giving you H2O, which is the formula for water. So the first thing we do is to convert the names into chemical formulas. Hydrogen becomes H2, oxygen is O2, and water is H2O. For you to balance an equation, you need to know the law of conservation of mass. What's the law? It states that atoms are neither created nor destroyed. So when you are writing an equation, you have to bear that law in mind, that the atoms on the left-hand side, the reactant side, must balance the atoms on the right-hand side, which is the product side, meaning that the equations must have equal atoms on both sides. In any chemical reaction, mass is conserved. We must balance the equation so we have the same number of atoms on both sides. So what are the steps on balancing chemical equation? You have to write the unbalanced equation. Number 2, you count the atoms on both sides. Number 3, you add coefficients, that is the numbers that come in front of a symbol or a compound to balance it. Then never change the subscripts. The subscripts are H2, O2, things like that. You don't change them because of the laws in chemistry. Balancing the example, we have hydrogen and oxygen giving us water. Look at the unbalanced equation, H2 plus O2 giving H2O. On the left hand side, you have 2 atoms of hydrogen, that's a diatomic molecule. The same thing with oxygen, 0,2. On the right hand side, you have H2O. So when you check left and right, you see that there are 2 hydrogen atoms on the left and 2 on the right. Oxygen, 2 on the left, but 1 on the right. So in order to balance it, you look at it, so you have to add 2 coefficients in front of the hydrogen. And when you add 2 in front of hydrogen and the water molecule, it becomes 2H2O. Hydrogen becomes 4, and then oxygen is 2 now, is complete. So you now look at the left hydrogen is 2. You put 2 in front, making it 4. So the equation is now balanced. Another example, the combustion of methane. Look at the unbalanced equation, CH4 plus O2, giving you CO2 plus H2O. When you look at it, carbon on the left is 1, on the right is 1. Hydrogen on the left is 4, on the right is 2. It's not balanced. Oxygen on the left is 2, on the right you can see 3. So they are not balanced. What do we do to balance it? You look at it, number 1, you have to balance the oxygen. Since oxygen is 3 on the right, but it's 2 on the left. So you have to put 2 in front of the water to make the oxygen and the CO2, they now become 4. So you go to the left hand side, the oxygen that is 0, 2, you add 2 in front of it, making it 4. So these are simple steps to take in balancing equation. There are common mistakes we should avoid when we are trying to balance equation. Don't change the subscripts. For example, H2O. In order to balance the oxygen, you add another 2 behind the oxygen. You have already changed the water molecule to another compound entirely, which you call hydrogen peroxide. So that will not be right. So you should also not forget there are diatomic elements like O2, H2, N2, Cl2. Those elements always occur in 2, so they are always written with a subscript 2. Then always adjust coefficients, not the formulas, the things you add in front in order to balance the equation. Let's make a little practice. Look at the combination of iron and oxygen to form iron, 3 sides. You see in that place, you see iron plus 0,2 O2 giving you Fe2O3. To balance it, you see on the left hand side iron 1, right 2. Then oxygen on the left hand side is 2, on the right hand side is 3. In order to balance it, because there are 3 oxygen on the right hand side, you have to put 3 on the left hand side. That makes oxygen 6. So if you want to balance it, then iron is Fe2O3. You have to put 2 in front so that oxygen becomes 6. By the right hand side, you put 2 in front. Then iron now becomes 4. So you go back on the left to add 4, and that balanced the compound. So these are simple ways to balance chemical equations. Now that you know how to write and balance chemical equations, remember, it is just like balancing a seesaw. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you.